Email your pictures, videos, and tips to eyewitness@WWL-TV.com and be an eyewitness with Channel 4, Louisiana's news leader. This is Channel 15's Newswatch, Louisiana's 24-hour news station. Newswatch is a service from Cox Communications and WWL-TV. You're watching a local rebroadcast on Channel 15. From WWL-TV, the spirit of Louisiana, this is Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness News Nightwatch.
First tonight, we have breaking news out of River Ridge. The Jefferson Parish SWAT team has been called out to the 9200 block of 5th Street. According to investigators, a man is threatening suicide at that location. We'll have updates on that situation as they become available.
My message to Congress is this: pass a bill extending the tax cuts for the middle class. I will sign it tomorrow.
Good evening, I'm Dennis Woltering. President Obama is talking taxes and talking tough about tax cuts. And today he was also talking to our Karen Swensen as he proposes keeping tax cuts for the middle class. It was just one of the topics in a one-on-one interview with Channel 4. Karen is at the White House with more from the president.
Dennis, we spent the day here at the White House. We took a private tour, we attended a presidential press conference, and then we had a one-on-one interview with President Obama. Now, unfortunately, all we got were 5 minutes, but he did address the two topics that we received the most viewer feedback on: the economy and health care. In a crowded East Room of the White House, President Obama tried to win over middle-class voters by proposing an extension of tax cuts that'll save families roughly $3,600 a year.
That's why I'm calling on Congress to extend the tax cuts for the 98% of Americans who make less than $250,000 for another year.
But in our one-on-one interview with President Obama afterward, he said he's so opposed to extending those cuts to wealthier Americans that if Congress were to pass an all-or-nothing proposition, he'd opt for nothing. What if Congress were to extend them to everyone across the board, including the wealthy? Would you veto it?
I would veto it, and here's why. What I'm proposing is that we give a tax break, that we make sure that taxes don't go up on 98% of Americans. 98%. But to extend tax breaks for that top 2% of wealthiest Americans would cost us $1 trillion over the next decade.
Today, Channel 4 was one of 8 stations invited to the White House to talk about issues that matter most to our viewers. It was a 5-minute opportunity to bring him your questions. Many shared common themes, like this one from Michael Verino. He describes himself as a Catholic voter and wrote, "What can you say about a health care bill that'll mandate insurance companies to provide birth control, sterilization, etc. to employees of Catholic universities, hospitals, and churches, since this goes against the Catholic religion? We know there is compromise language in place. Some say it doesn't go far enough, and that the much bigger issue is religious liberty, not contraception."
Yeah, well, it's absolutely true that religious liberty is critical. I mean, that's what our country was founded on. That's the reason why we exempted churches, we exempted religious institutions, but we did say that big Catholic hospitals or universities who employ a lot of non-Catholics and who receive a lot of federal money, that for them to be in a position to say to a woman who works there, you can't get that from your insurance company, even though the institution isn't paying for it, that crosses the line where that woman, she suddenly is going to have to bear the burden and the cost of that, and that's not fair.
But by far, the topic that strikes the greatest chord with Louisiana voters is the economy and jobs. 4 years ago, President Obama ran on a platform of change, but many of you told us things have only changed for the worse. What would you say to those constituents, to those voters who would say, I'm not better off, with all due respect, than I was 4 years ago? I'm worse.
Well, you know, if you look at what's happened not just in Louisiana but across the country, most of those job losses initially came in the first 6 months of me being in office, right as we were hitting the worst part of the crisis. And we've been doing cleanup ever since. I mean, this is essentially like, it was a financial hurricane that hit, and we've been cleaning up ever since.
Now, the president says unemployment is down from when it peaked, and that is true, and that under his administration, 4.4 million jobs were created. Now, moving forward, he says middle-class tax cuts, investments in education, rebuilding infrastructure, and rebuilding ports will help turn the economy around. But it'll be up to voters to decide if they believe him. For now, reporting from the White House, I'm Karen Swensen, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
As Karen just showed us, we relayed some of your questions to the president. You heard part of his response to a question from a Kenner resident. Now Scott Satchfield joins us live from Uptown with more on that part of today's one-on-one interview. Scott?
Well, Dennis, Michael Verino wanted to hear from President Obama about an aspect of the health care debate that affects large Catholic institutions like Loyola University. So we asked the question for Verino and then showed him the president's response.
I was raised Catholic. My dear mom and dad were devout Catholics, and I'm a devout Catholic.
For Michael Verino of Kenner, issues affecting his religious beliefs are critical. Today, he got a chance to ask President Obama about one of his biggest concerns, a mandate affecting large Catholic institutions like hospitals or universities, which calls for contraception coverage for employees.
We tried to strike a balance. Obviously, there's going to be some disagreements, but ultimately, I think our goal here is not to in any way encroach on the Catholic Church or any other religious institution. It is to balance their interests with the interests of women so that they can control their own health care choices.
The president explained an exemption for churches is part of that balance, also noting many employees of larger institutions are non-Catholics. Still, Verino strongly opposes that position.
And it's an attack, I feel, on my religion, and it upsets me tremendously. I have to go by the Ten Commandments, and there's no compromise, in my opinion. It's an examination of conscience. It's not a choice. It's moral values.
Despite the strong disagreement, Verino says he's more flexible regarding other aspects of the health care debate and says he's appreciative of the opportunity to hear directly from the president.
I do wish everybody had access to health care. I truly believe we should all be able to afford health care. I'm glad he did accept to even answer the question, so I do give him respect. I respect the office of the presidency, but I don't disagree. I do disagree with a lot of things that are going on right now, especially when it involves the Catholic Church.
Now, while Verino is clearly most focused on issues affecting the Catholic Church, he says he hopes to see both candidates address other issues, big issues facing Louisiana, especially things like coastal erosion. For now, reporting live, Scott Satchfield, Channel 4 Eyewitness News.
All right, Scott, thanks. Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is sounding off on President Obama's push to extend tax cuts for the middle class. In a preview of a message that he will deliver tomorrow in the swing state of Colorado, Romney told a conservative talk radio host that the president's proposal eliminating tax cuts for people making more than $250,000 would kill jobs and harm the middle class. Political analyst Dr. Silas Lee says while there are many heated debates over social and moral issues, the vast majority of voters are focused most on their pocketbooks.
This is a referendum on, one, the economy and which candidate they feel can address the economy effectively in terms of restoring, rebuilding confidence and creating jobs in the economy.
Dr. Silas Lee also added that with social media and 24-hour news, voters' views of a particular candidate can change at a moment's notice. A who's who of New Orleans civic and business leaders is making a new push to save the Times-Picayune. Last month, the Times-Picayune Citizens Group asked the Newhouse family, which owns the paper, to reconsider its plans to publish the paper only 3 days a week starting in October. According to Gambit, today the group sent a new letter to 22 members of the Newhouse group asking the family to sell the paper outright. Some of the notables signing this new letter to the Newhouse family include Archbishop Gregory Amen, Gail and Tom Benson, Archie Manning, and James Carville, among others. A new report by the Metropolitan Crime Commission finds that the prosecution of felony cases at criminal court is slowing. According to the report, last year, each judge's docket of open felony cases increased by an average of 31 cases. Cases open for more than 1 year accounted for 22% of dockets, and a 32-day increase in the median time that it took to bring cases to conclusion. Researchers found that one cause of the reduced efficiency was an increase in violent felony cases. They have more than doubled since 2007. To read the full report, just head to our website, WWL-TV.com, and click on Links on 4. In St. John Parish, officials are asking East Bank residents to conserve water. It's due to a water leak at a Rudock water well. Repair crews are assessing the problem. The parish says it's critical that people in LaPlace, Reserve, Garyville, and Mount Airy begin conserving water right away. 30 years ago, it claimed more than 100 lives in Kenner. Next on Nightwatch, a look back at the Pan Am crash and how a local community is still trying to put the tragic incident behind them. Plus, tensions hit a boiling point during political debate on foreign TV, why one candidate thought it was a good idea to pull out a gun to prove his point.
And rain chances continue for the overnight hours. We do have some rain out there. We'll show you on Pinpoint Doppler.
For complete Channel 4 weather coverage, download the free New Orleans weather app on your smartphone.
Do you need furniture? Halpern's Furniture is having its once-a-year everything in the store sale. Right now, save 10 to 50% off everything at Halpern's. At Halpern's, we manufacture the furniture we sell, and we sell it for less. Visit us on the web at halpernsfurniture.com.
Are you building a new home and want reliable plumbing work? Call Mudbug Plumbing. 20 years experience and a member of the BBB. We also specialize in service work for older homes, from clogged drains and toilets to leaky faucets. Call today for the $99 drain cleaning special. Mudbug Plumbing.
Do you want a complete dining experience that you'll never forget? Then come to Fujihana. It's a show as fun to watch as our food is to eat. Our incredible chefs prepare your meal right in front of you at the Hibachi Grill. Enjoy mouth-watering steak, succulent lobster and tuna, garden-fresh vegetables, and luscious chicken. We have the ultimate in sushi, made fresh to order. You'll never want to go anywhere else once you've experienced Fujihana. 1130 Berman Highway. We bring the kitchen to you.
Your home is one of your most important investments. So when it comes to insulating your home, call Intech Insulation. With 18 years experience protecting your home from the roof down to its floors, serving the North and South Shore, your satisfaction is guaranteed. New Orleans Insulation Specialist, Intech Insulation, 504-482-8850. Call Intech Insulation today or go online, intechinsulation.com.
Feet hurt? I'm Dr. Freiberg, the foot doctor. Join others who benefit by experienced foot care. Call my office for a free consultation.
The Spirit of Louisiana, WWL-TV Channel 4.
The summer slipcover sale is going on now at Halpern. Save up to 20% on over 20 styles with over 60 fabrics to choose from. Stylish, carefree, comfortable, and up to 20% off now at Halpern's.
Halpern's Furnishing Store. We manufacture furniture and savings for you.
Hundreds of people joined together in a memorial at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Church in Kenner today to remember a tragedy that ripped into that community 30 years ago today. Pan Am Flight 759 crashed into one Kenner neighborhood just moments after takeoff, killing 154 people. The memorial brought together loved ones of those who died from near and far. 7 of Louis and Willie Mae Leday's 8 children were here.
My kids never knew their grandparents.
And 30 years later, they say the memory of that horrific plane crash still turns their emotions raw. LP Leday says the painful memories came back over the weekend when he was looking at pictures with his son and daughter.
And 2 of the pictures were with my mom and dad. And it was a very emotional time then, too. Even, like I said, 30 years later.
The young woman who was rescued from the crash scene when she was just 16 months old, Missy Trahan Ferrara, was one of the speakers.
I am sorry that all of you had to experience the sights and sounds of that day.
Her mother and 4-year-old sister were in a different part of the house when the 727 smashed into the neighborhood. And they were among the 8 people on the ground who died. Missy Trahan-Ferrara told the memorial she wishes she could take away the pain of those still mourning the loss of their loved ones, but she knows she can't.
But what I offer you is a sense of peace, knowing that we are all in this together. We are all survivors, not just me.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
There were prayers for those who died and their families, and each victim's name was announced.
Our dad and granddad, Leo Benedict Noon.
In some cases announced by members of their family.
My mother and sister, Melanie Trahan and Bridget Trahan.
30 years after Flight 759 tore this Kenner neighborhood apart, these loved ones, friends, and first responders came together to make it clear they will never forget those who lost their lives. Investigators determined that violent wind shear caused that crash, and the wind shear detector at New Orleans International had reportedly not been working for months before the doomed Pan Am flight took off. Trending online tonight, more injuries at the running of the Bulls, some freaked out baseball players, but first, a dangerous debate on foreign television. In Jordan, a lawmaker first threw his shoe, then pulled a gun on his opponent. He was angry because the other guy accused him of buying his way into office. Luckily, everyone's okay, but the two guys kept tussling as the host tried to separate them. The station finally just ended the show. In Pamplona, Spain, 2 people from Britain and 1 American were gored during the running of the Bulls today. It was the 3rd day of the San Fermin Festival. So far, a total of 7 people have been injured this year. More than 20,000 people are expected to attend this year's festival, which wraps up on Saturday.
That may be the best. Mother Nature wouldn't mess with them.
That was lightning hitting the Texas Rangers ballpark in Arlington last night as they took on the Minnesota Twins. Over on first base, the clap of thunder sent Twins player Josh Willingham to his hands and knees. Rangers catcher Mike Napoli was the first to make a beeline for the dugout. He later said he was totally freaked out. The game was delayed 46 minutes and play resumed with several players having a good laugh. So the weather can be funny sometimes.
Yeah, when nobody gets hurt, yeah, absolutely. And we had lots of lightning around today. We had water spouts, and we also had even a tornado warning as a water spout around the lake moved towards St. Tammany
Parish. We had cooler weather, a little cooler.
It helps when you have more showers and storms. High temperatures are down. Most highs today were in the upper 80s to low 90s. And if you go to our Facebook page, a little explanation on the water spouts and how some can come on shore and do some damage. And also I have an kind of an illustration of the kind of wind shear that possibly caused the downing of that Pan Am flight 30 years ago today. It's on our Facebook page. Also, let's talk about how warm it's been so far. We've heard around the nation how we're seeing some of the warmest temperatures ever across the region. Well, so far for us for this year at Armstrong International, January and February were the 4th warmest months on record for those months. March, we had our warmest March ever. April, this 4th warmest April, and May, the 3rd warmest May on record. And June was tied for the 9th warmest. So we've had some very warm temperatures across our area so far this year. Now here's a look outside, and temperatures aren't too bad. We're seeing those temperatures right now in the 70s, 78 at the airport in Audubon, 80 in Slidell. The relative humidity is at 81% with a dew point of 72 degrees. As you take a look at WeatherLink 4, we'll show you some of those rainfall amounts today, and you can see about 1.5 inches at City Park at Christian Brothers School, Kill, Mississippi 1.2. George, Champaign, and DeSalmon also called in with 1.2 inches of rainfall. You can see Marrero Middle School, Lake Harbor Middle School, rainfall amounts 3/4 of an inch or less, 1/2 inch or less around Picayune Junior High, Grand Isle, Pearl River, and South Lafourche Airport in Galliano. Now, as you look at pinpoint Doppler right now, you definitely see a few showers out there, and some of them are beginning to weaken on the North Shore, but they were pretty heavy around the Covington, Mandeville area just a couple of hours ago. You can see now in Washington Parish around Bogalusa, that's moving towards the northeast and still could bring some rain to parts of Pearl River County. We're seeing some new showers and thunderstorms starting to develop along the coastal areas near Cocodrie. Those will be traveling on inland over the course of the overnight hours, so coastal showers and thunderstorms thunderstorms will be around and continue to move on towards the north. As you look at the wider picture here, we'll show you some of the rain and thunderstorms that moved through the area earlier today, some this evening, and that's all because we're in between two areas of high pressure, one to our east, one to our west, and we're in that weakness in the atmosphere where we're seeing showers and thunderstorms develop. Don't see too much of a change over the course of the next several days, so I think we'll definitely see those showers and thunderstorms scattered about during the course of the daytime hours. 30% overnight and for the morning commute time, and then 40% for afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Again, could get started as early as the mid-morning time frame. As Dennis mentioned, some temperatures a little bit lower today. Most highs today in the upper 80s, 92 at Audubon Park where they didn't see any rain today. And you can see we've had morning temperatures in the 70s, and that's pretty much what we should see for tonight and tomorrow morning. Mid to upper 70s, spotty showers and thunderstorms will be around. Tomorrow, look for more showers and thunderstorms. Again, lightning, water spouts, they're common this time of year. We could see more of that. Temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. Here's a look at your pinpoint 7-day forecast, and showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for the next several days through the weekend. So you can bet on some thunderstorms around, some heat, some downpours, some lightning, and possibly even some water spouts. Our Facebook page also has those pictures of ones in the lake and also off the coast of Mississippi.
Quite a few today.
Yeah.
All right. Will the demolition of a downtown hotel go ahead as planned? Next on Nightwatch, what state and local officials are saying about the situation following a fire at the hotel last week.
Plus in sports, after a disappointing tryout for Team USA in Vegas, Anthony Davis is headed back to Sin City for the Summer League. And LSU's ace reportedly wants to return to Baton Rouge. Hear what head coach Paul Mainieri thinks about it next in sports.
Get the latest weather, news, and sports with our free smartphone app. Learn more at WWL-TV.com.
Buy granite countertops at French Quarter Facades. 3-centimeter custom, 2-centimeter semi-custom. French Quarter Facades, your project, on time and under budget. Get the elegant look you want at the price you can afford. French Quarter Facades.
Rockin' Bowl presents Family Bowl. New Orleans families can enjoy family fun at Rockin' Bowl Monday through Friday starting at 11:30 a.m. Open for lunch, Rockin' Bowl and Straight Stick Ranch Burger Company are the perfect place to meet Dad. Enjoy free shoes with your lane in an atmosphere that's fun for the whole family. Call 504-861-1700 for details and lane availability. Family Bowl at Rockin' Bowl.
The Plant Gallery on Airline Drive is more than just plants. We're the largest garden center in New Orleans. Floral design with delivery, thousands of pots, fountains, and of course, plants for inside and outside. The Plant Gallery on Airline Drive, where New Orleans meets Metairie.
Are you in need of physical therapy? Consider a place that provides extra time, excellent service, and is extremely qualified. Here at Extreme, you will receive one-on-one care from a licensed professional. We accommodate your busy schedule by providing early morning, late evening, and Saturday hours. All you need is your doctor's prescription, and we will handle the rest.
We accept most insurance, and we look forward to working with you.
Remember our motto, extra time, excellent service, extremely qualified.
Tony Piazza here with Southern Tire. Is your ride ready for a new look? Get new rims and tires from Southern Tire. Trade in your old rims for credit towards the purchase of new rims. Go from this to that, from 22s to 24s to 26s, even 30-inch rims. Using the latest wheel mounting system to prevent rim scratches, we even fix bent or cracked rims. Freshen up your ride with new rims from Southern Tire. 2550 Hickory Avenue. Come on in, we'll take care of you.
Also at Southern Tire, the pure nitrogen inflation system saves gas, smoother ride, and gives you longer tire wear.
The Playmakers will be in with songs from the Little Shop of Horrors.
Did some family issues come to light this summer? Barbara LeBlanc from the Parenting Center is going to be in to answer your questions.
And the Dragos fire truck is here, all in an effort for the St. Bernard Project fundraising effort. That's Tuesday morning.
Granite countertops from French Quarter Facades. 2-centimeter granite.
Save money!
3-centimeter granite.
Hundreds of colors!
Come in today for a free quote. Granite countertops from French Quarter Facades. 1418 Edwards Avenue in Harahan.
Anthony Davis not in the Olympics, but going to the Summer League, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him play his first game with the Hornets in Las Vegas with the Summer League team. Now, Anthony Davis cut from the Olympic team, so the Hornets' #1 pick will be taking his talents to Las Vegas to play on the Bees Summer League team. Game 1, July 15th versus the Portland Trailblazers. Now, Davis will be joined by fellow 2012 draftees, 10th pick Austin Rivers and 2nd rounder Darius Miller. Other guys looking for much needed experience and a gig. Jerome Dyson, Xavier Henry, Lance Thomas, and Daryl Watkins. For the rest of the 15-man roster, head to WWL-TV.com. Now, there is one Hornets player London bound for the Olympics, but it won't be for the Team USA. Now, I'm talking about forward Al-Farouq Aminu. Aminu scored 14 points with 7 boards as his Nigerian squad beat the Dominican Republic in qualifying. Their reward, well, an Olympic spot in the same grouping with Team USA, France with Tony Parker, Lithuania, and the 2004 gold medalist team, Argentina. Wow. Now, NOLA.com is reporting LSU pitcher Kevin Gausman has decided against signing with the Orioles and returning to LSU. Report says the 4th pick in the 2012 draft, Gausman wants to pitch in the College World Series. Now, former Tigers Anthony Renato and Mikey Batuk flirted with returning to school after being high draft choices before ultimately signing with a ball club. So a little perspective on the event. The 4th pick in the 2012 draft signed a contract for $6.25 million. That's the money Gausman would turn down to play for the Tigers. Now, Coach Paul Mainieri reacts to the report saying Kevin is still in negotiations with the Orioles, and any reports portraying his return to LSU as definite are premature. Mainieri added the signing deadline is at 4 p.m. Friday, so we'll allow the process to play itself out until that time. All-star festivities in Kansas City. You remember the old commercial, Chicks Dig the Long Ball? Well, if that's the case, in the 2012, the ladies loved Prince Fielder and Jose Bautista. The two batted in the finals with the former bringing home the title once again. Cecil Fielder, your home run derby, Prince Fielder, not his pop Cecil, but Prince Fielder wins the home run derby. Still to come in sports, we'll catch up with a local gridiron pro who traded time for dollars while showing off his skill set on the other hardwood. We'll be right back.
Do you need furniture? Halpern's Furniture is having its once-a-year Everything in the Store sale. Right now, save 10 to 50% off everything at Halpern's. At Halpern's, we manufacture the furniture we sell, and we sell it for less. Visit us on the web at halpernsfurniture.com.
Do you want a complete dining experience that you'll never forget? Then come to Fujihana. It's a show as fun to watch as our food is to eat. Our incredible chefs prepare your meal right in front of you at the Hibachi Grill. Enjoy mouth-watering steak, succulent lobster and tuna, garden-fresh vegetables, and luscious chicken. We have the ultimate in sushi, made fresh to order. You'll never want to go anywhere else once you've experienced Fujihana. 1130 Berman Highway. We bring the kitchen to you.
Be prepared for the hurricane season with the Pinpoint Hurricane Guide.
Stop in any Speedy oil change and tune-up to pick up your guide, complete with a tracking map, important emergency numbers, helpful tips, and much more. From Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up and Channel 4.
It takes everyone working together to rebuild a city, and it really hasn't been easy. It takes self-determination, neighborhood organization, and a huge dose of good old-fashioned New Orleans grit. Because there's a lot to love about this place, but there's also a lot to rebuild. And that's what I do. I'm Simone Bruni, owner of Demo Diva Demolition. Call me today and let's get started. Because taking it down to the dirt is the first step to lifting it up to the sky.
For personal and home defense, come to American Freedom Firearms. Our expert staff is friendly and knowledgeable. We now offer concealed carry classes. American Freedom Firearms, 5644 Jefferson Highway. Like us on Facebook or on the web at AmericanFreedomFirearms.com.
How do you become a bone marrow or organ donor? Simple. Just sign up and get swabbed. And to make it even easier, Channel 4 is hosting a Community Donor Day, where you can register to become a donor, get swabbed, and enjoy free food from Drago's. Join Sally Ann Roberts and Bill Capel Thursday, July 12th from 6 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Clearview Mall parking lot. Here's your chance to be a perfect match for patients who desperately need your help. For more information, log on to WWL-TV.com today.
The summer slipcover sale is going on now at Halpern. Save up to 20% on over 20 styles with over 60 fabrics to choose from. Stylish, carefree, comfortable, and up to 20% off now at Halpern's.
Halpern's Furnishing Store. We manufacture furniture and savings for you.
A football player who does have a new contract, Bears safety Craig Stelz, the former Rommel and LSU star, signed a 2-year deal back in March. We caught up with Stelz at a benefit yesterday at Rock and Bowl, and he's excited to get his 5th season with the Bears underway.
every year it seems to get more exciting. You know, it's a blessing to be on my 5th year and to go back, especially with Chicago, a team that drafted you and you started with, and you know, to go back and to let's win that championship. You know, we've had some special teams, you know, and this is going to be a great team, and you know, we'll start that building process in end of July, getting ready for training camp.
Top of all that, he's got some cool hair.
He does. He does. Seems like a nice guy. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now back to our breaking news. In River Ridge, the Jefferson Parish SWAT team has been called out to the 9200 block of 5th Street. According to investigators, a man is threatening suicide at that location. Right now, SWAT is using a loudspeaker to try to contact the man. So far, though, they have not been able to reach him. Be sure to tune in to Channel 4 and early in the morning at 4:30 for the early edition of Eyewitness Morning News, and to WWL-TV.com for the latest on that story. And tomorrow, another story you'll see first on Channel 4. State officials have announced that demolition of the Grand Palace Hotel will go on as scheduled despite last week's fire. Tomorrow, officials will begin making preparations for the implosion. It's set for Sunday, July 22nd. Tune in to the Eyewitness Morning News for more on the city's plan and what steps they're taking to ensure public safety. That's our news for now. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a great day tomorrow.
I got my kitchen at French Quarter Facades.
I got my kitchen at French Quarter